So good evening, Ruslan. So thank you for joining.
Good evening.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for thank you for agreeing to talk to me about the situation in Ukraine. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so hi everyone. At first, I'm sorry for my sometimes bad English. My name is Ruslan. I'm from Ukraine, from the Chernigiv region. It's north of Ukraine. I'm a student of second year of university, Nizhny Novgorod State University. I'm have one degree. It's international relations, and second, I'm taking like law science.
Okay, great. So, and you've also told me that you are a reservist in the army, right?
Yeah, but it's like in future. It's in my plans.
It's in your plans. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with a very broad question. Why did Russia invade Ukraine?
Oh, yeah, it's really general question.
Mhm.
So to start about currently full-scale invasion, or you want more deeply from the 2014?
More deeply.
More deeply. Okay. So actually, we need to take even more deeply uh, right after collapse of Soviet Union. Yeah. As I think many knows that Soviet Union was collapsed, and was 15 countries after this.
Mhm.
Ukraine and Russia was one of them. And after collapse, there was negotiations about the border, about creation of new states. So there was a Russian Federation, Republic of Belarus, and Ukraine. Um, Actually, it was something new in international relations when it was without conflicts, without wars, without some blood. There was created a new states in Europe that was really rare. And right after this, all countries will go on their ways. Ukraine was on the way more like at first it was connected with Russia, of course, a lot of economical aspects, informational, culture aspects was connected with Russians and Russia, because many people from the Soviet Union was from the many points. For example, from the Ukraine, there is have a lot of people have relatives from the Russia. Russia have many relatives in Ukraine. We looking one one films, one series, listen one music. So of
Okay.
course culture aspects was pretty hard. Um, but of course from the all started, it started also a problems. At first problems was of the border, and most can I say like hot question was Crimea. Uh, if we're talking about the people of Crimea, there was many Russians, like ethnical Russians, who say that we are Russian speakers, and all like this. Also, there was an Ukrainian and Crimean Tatars, and this territory was actually really discussed. Who is this must be part, Russian or Ukraine? Um, Actually, by the referendum of about the independence of Ukraine. Most Crimea says that Ukraine must be independent and we must be in Ukraine. But of course, all these discussions, all this, how I can say, like shadow conflicts, uh, was pretty long. For example, in Crimea was a lot of political parties, political movements who supporting that Crimea must be part of the Russia. A lot of them now it's understandable by the news and some uh, how can say in English, I'm sorry, investigations, like some organization who investigate this, they say that yeah, this party was like under control of Federal Security Service of Russia,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of people who manage these movements. Uh, And of course, another one of the biggest question was Navy. Navy, what after Soviet Union? Uh, Actually, this question was hot because there is really a lot of navy. That was most powerful navy forces in Black Sea,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, what it wants to be Russia for Russian armed forces or Ukrainian armed forces. Actually, that question was on the negotiations between at those time it was Yanukovych, not at 19th, as I remember 2008 there was negotiations. It's called like Kharkiv agreements, or like this, as I remember. And was like a part, as I remember, only 20% of this navy was given Ukraine.
Okay.
All other was Russia. And Russia, even by this agreement, they can have like a base, military base, navy base, and like this. Of course, that was a geopolitical mistake. It's my opinion as a student of international relations, to my opinion. And all these ethnical problems.
Okay, can I interrupt? Like, why do you say it was a mistake? What would have been better at that moment?
Of course, more better was just not have agreement with Russia about this. Military base in Crimea, it was like bomb, what timeline bomb.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, you have just a military base of some country that you think it's ally for you, but is it real ally? Even after Tuzla incident, um, many people don't know, but when our president was Kuchma, Leonid Kuchma, there was incident or Tuzla incident. Tuzla, it's really little island between Crimea and Russia. By the documents, by the international law, it's Ukrainian territory. But at those times, Russia started build it's like this island. No, not like native island, but trying to build like road to
Okay.
this island. Of course, there was a really emergency situation. Even president of Ukraine came on this island to understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And there is actually Russia not take a part for this, so they're not invaded. But if I think if it would be possible, and Ukraine just take off this island, and it island became under Russian control, I think invading to our country was really early than now. That
Okay.
was in 2014. So Russia was, this neighbor who is actually trying to be your friend, like showing that
Mm-hmm.
we're your friend, so no problem. Even if you will have some problems, we will defend you. But actually, they have their games, and actually, I'm a lot of working with hybrid conflicts, trying to research all of this, and I understand that Russia just one of the first countries who use this hybrid technology of hybrid wars. Uh, it's in many we see it in many spheres, especially in energetic sphere. We have it was called the gas wars, as I remember. Not gas. Can you please remind me how it will be Haz in?
Gas?
Yeah, like gas, not like oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what Russia
Yeah.
selling to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem was that Russia just destroyed the energetic infrastructure of Ukraine. We don't have it. Our normal companies
Mm-hmm.
who take our some energetic powers that we can be actually energetic power state.
Mm-hmm.
So Russia just selling out to us really cheap, really cheap energetic resources. So our smart rulers, think that, oh yeah, we don't need something ours. We can take it more cheap, more
Mm-hmm.
even cheap from the Russia. And the
So
first,
you became dependent on them.
yeah,
Mhm.
our energy system became dependent from this.
Mhm.
Really, that was just real problem. If we now look at this, it was real problem because it's just monopolizing of the not something sphere, monopolizing whole really critical aspect of countries of state living.
Mhm. Mhm.
So like this, and annexion of Crimea, what started was Russia just was in right time, in right place. When we have a revolution, and we all understand that revolution it's unstable country,
Mhm.
unstable
Mhm.
all states organizations. Um, Russia just from this base, military base, who was created under Kharkiv assignment,
Mhm.
just take off their symbols, like their Russian flags, just take off from their uniform, military uniform, and just go on the Ukrainian territory.
Mhm.
Block the military bases, Ukrainian military bases, take all administration buildings, police, security service of Ukraine buildings, and all like this. And of course, we need to talk even more about the informational aspect what Russia used. Propaganda was just terrible because at those times at Russian TV you can easily hear that at Ukraine starts some fascist uprising, neo-Nazi uprising, that Americans use color revolution technologies to Ukraine, so we
Mhm.
will be like puppy of United States and of European Union.
Mhm.
So we, like defenders of Russian Crimea, we must defend all Crimeans from this. Of course, that was not true. That was not true because Ukrainian soldiers at those times they're not even like attack all Russian soldiers because they even cannot. It was not imaginable that Russia, when yesterday you can just play soccer with these people, and now these people just turn their weapons on you, and
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
course it was really crazy for them. Second, that actually at those times we didn't have even the some rulers, military rulers. Some of them just run to Russia. Some of
Mhm.
them was actually one who was don't care about this situation.
Okay.
Of course, there was protesters. You can, if some of your people who watch this, you can just it's not like it's not that having some PR to this, but they have like a really interesting interesting videos that Vice News. This I recommend you this playlist Russian Roulette, and there is you can see the Ukrainian protests, and you can see how it was in those times. Um, the main reason why there is no some like rising of Ukrainians at Crimea. That was why it's really good works of Federal Service of Russia.
Mhm.
So security service of Russia was really powerful then. They just killed all activists or just torture them. They say that you need to leave or we will kill you, we will kill your family, and all like this. Um, a lot of Crimeans, yeah, actually, why propaganda worked at Crimeans? Why
Mhm.
this was like this? Because we have it discussed in informational policy and culture policy when we have Yanukovych ruler and his his comment um, that because we have it one channels with Russia, news channels also,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and it was even popular. That's problem.
So
So
Ukrainians watch Russian news.
Russian news, yeah, Russian news, Russian channel or channels, and all like this.
Okay.
So for Crimean, it was normally to believe to Russia,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
also, there is was a myth that Crimea was taken without some blood.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, actually, it's not true. As I remember, one officer, Ukrainian officer, and one soldier was killed. It was when was blocked military base, and one of the officers, as I remember, take on the roof and just try to take the binocle to see enemy, and he
Okay.
was just shot by sniper. So it's of course not true. We even cannot say about that what we didn't know how many people was killed. Some activists,
Mhm.
some people who was supporting revolution, and all like this.
Okay.
So yeah, why the main yeah I told too much. The main reason why it
No.
starts it's actually because Russia never lose their geopolitical interests to be a main power in Eastern Europe.
Mhm.
All things many people thinks that oh Russia have a lot of land and they don't have some imperial ambitions. It's
Mhm.
not true. Even
Mhm.
whole even you can see many videos about Russia that do we need to, for example, captured Poland, do we need to capture Europe, and many of them say yes, yeah, we need to repeat what we do at 1945.
Okay.
That's of course the crazy
So
because
their ultimate goal is to take over Europe?
no, their ultimate goals, I cannot even know what ultimate goals of, for example, Putin. I know his ultimate goal to destroy Ukraine. It's not joke, and it's not some, you know, it's not some like my phrase. It's
Mhm.
actually reality.
Mhm.
Uh, because destroyed Ukraine nation, all states what was in Soviet Union before, they will understand that uh, we need to be with Russia or we will be like Ukraine.
Okay, it's like a warning to the others.
Yeah, it's one of the aspects. It's warning to the others countries that you don't need to go out from Russian influence.
Mhm.
Uh, you know that now Armenia trying to do this.
Mhm.
I think they just see that Russia is not so powerful like they think.
Mhm.
But I cannot even imagine how what it will be. In what performance it can be because Russia there have also military base and it's very important for them because it's one military base in the Caucasus region in Russia.
It's in Yerevan?
Not in Yerevan, as I remember, it's on Armenian territory
Okay.
like this. And also there's about the statements, like not statements, about some phrases of Russian propaganda. I want to take this. So,
Okay.
like they say that main goals was demilitarization of Ukraine. Uh, Good job. Now Ukraine take the modern Western weapon like tanks, and in future it will be fly fighters and the planes. That's really great job. I want just to say that is Russian army demilitarized? I think yes. Uh, the second was like denazification.
Mhm.
I cannot even imagine why where they do like this because now we have nationalists even more. What here is they talking about denazification, like killing now Nazis or like killing nationalists because it's two. The Russians cannot understand that it's two different like it's two different ideologies and it's
Yeah.
two different types of people because in Russian you have neo-Nazis, Rogozin, for example. Yeah, many Western people who think that Russia is fighting with Nazis in the whole world. Just I recommend you to see biography of Rogozin. It's head of Roscosmos, like airspace state company
Okay.
of Russia. It's Putin's friend. How
Mhm.
he do it like little bit in when he was little bit more right than it needs.
Mhm. Mhm.
For example, you can see. I'm talking to the some people who
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
of course, of course.
Russia is fighter with neo-Nazis. You can see the biography of one of the leaders of Rusich battalion, or I don't know who is this. Their leader, who was real Nazi, and he killed puppies and dogs on the video. So you can see it. You can see who are supporting.
Yeah. Phew.
Uh, like
But,
this.
but for the record, there are no Nazis, or there were no Nazis in Ukraine in 2022, for example. No Nazis.
No, Nazis. I want to say that Nazis, we have all of them. For example, we have some. For example, in the world, we have, for example, like these white powers who thinks that it's race. Some people, some Nazis think that they're about their nation, not about the race now, about their nation. And for example, a lot of was talking about Azov regiment.
Yeah.
Azov regiment, and I cannot even imagine this because a lot of members of Azov talking on the Russians, on the Russian language. Some of them Russians ethnically.
Okay.
So about what neo-Nazi they think. About the symbol, just look at the symbols of Russian battalions. It's like Slavic symbols. So even this signs of Nazi forces in Second World War, that was not actually created by the Hitler and not created by the Nazis. These symbols using usually these groups who is really connected with traditions and all like this. All what doing the Hitler and doing the Nazis is just demoralize these symbols. So yeah.
And can I ask, do you think that Russians really believe that Ukraine is full of fascists and Nazis, or
Yeah,
they know it's a trick, it's like a
no,
lie?
of course they
They
think it's,
believe it.
yeah, they think it's true. Just you can open all of you can open the some interviews on the streets and on Moscow streets, Petersburg streets, about some regions, Russian regions. I cannot even say what things people then. They all think that yeah, there is fascists, there is Nazis. That's really funny because they don't know who is fascist, who is Nazis. They no difference between them. Yeah, they believe in this, and
Okay.
it's as some people think that is civilized people, civilized Europeans.
And can we talk a little bit about the war itself? Like, I think many people have seen that things didn't go well for Russia. Do you think they were expecting a quick victory?
Of course, of course. A lot of people says who was on the front line and military journalists. They say that when it was destroyed of some trucks and some vehicles, Russian vehicles, there was a uniform for the parade. You know?
Yeah, victory parade.
Yeah, for the victory parade.
Yeah.
And of course, I think that they think that this tactic, blitzkrieg tactic, will be useful. But actually, even I was a little bit wonder why they use tactic with these long columns of the
Yeah,
vehicle.
me too. I was very surprised. And
Yeah,
why do you think they did that? They had such a low opinion of the Ukrainian army. They really thought that they could win like that.
yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so that they expected that our officials will be run out of the Kiev and maybe out of the country, and maybe many militaries will be just give their weapons and not will be not defend the country. But it's not like this, of course, for
No.
them. It's not expected. Well, they not expected this one.
That must have been a really big shock for them.
Yeah, of course, but of course, Russian propaganda uses is really, they have a lot of, how I can say, they have a lot of interesting theories about this, For example, they
For example, yeah.
they saying this that Russia uses only 10% of their powers, or for example that we not use full scale because we not bombing the cities, but it's a lie. I think all people seen these terrible videos and pictures of destroyed cities, destroyed
Absolutely,
buildings.
absolutely.
So it's all lie. Russian propaganda trying more working on the Russian auditor, not now at the Ukraine because they're working in Ukrainian trying to wash brains, I think.
Yeah,
But now they're washing brains only for their auditory.
and they're effective. The Russians believe their propaganda.
Yeah, most of them. I think it's 70%. Of
I've,
course,
I've seen some of that propaganda, and to me, it's ridiculous. Like for me, it's hard to believe that anybody believes that. Yesterday I saw Scott Ritter. Maybe you know him, or probably you know him. He's completely on the side of the Russians. I don't know why. Maybe they pay him. I don't know. Um, and he says there were no Russian war crimes ever in Ukraine. No, not even one. No war crimes. You
Mhm.
have to be completely naive to believe that.
Yeah, of course. You know, a lot of a lot of political in the West, they support in the like Russia, and they for me it's actually I cannot understand it. It's for me
Mhm,
because some of them supporting like some of the like left wing supporting, some of the right wing.
mhm.
So what do you do supporting? Because for example, I will give a true for the leftists. For example, Putin is saying that he's conservative. He's saying that
Mhm.
all its LGBTQ is like it's crime and like this. For if it's for the leftists, I say. For the right wings, I want to say that he said all Nazis must be died. Like all even far right people must be died.
Mhm.
So Putin
Okay.
is just trying to stand on one at two chairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, for me, it's really I cannot even understand why they're supporting him, even because you can just open the Russian channels, official Russian government's channels, and you can hear, for example, we can nuclear USA. We can our tanks can go for the one day to the Berlin. We
Yeah.
can reach the Paris,
Mhm.
and
But they
have
can't. But they can't defeat Ukraine.
yeah. I just want to say it to the Western people who support in Russia.
Yeah, I know. I
So
know.
the Russia just saying that they will take off your country.
Okay, great.
It's
And
really for me. It's I cannot understand this
uh, uh,
because
no, tell me.
yeah, because also that we live it. If we have a neighbor like this, and we saw a lot of. I cannot understand why you supporting him.
Hmm.
Is it because that you hate your country or you hate like Westerns? Like I heard, I heard just a lot of that. Oh, USA bombing Iraq, USA bombing Syria, and now they say something that Russia bombing Ukraine. So so it's our mistake that we must be bombing or what? You
Hmm.
defend Russia because your states did something wrong at past, and
Hmm.
just trying to say Russia doing all like USA did. So what our mistake in this?
Hmm. Hmm.
We not must be in this. We not must be in this action. Not my nation, not my country.
Hmm.
If you were so cool, so go and do revolution like we did when we didn't like our officials.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you will not do this. You will not do this because you like to live like this. You
Hmm.
like the all what you want. You like that you have food. You like that you have all clothes. That you have warm houses, and you like that, you not must be thinking about, oh, I hope rocket will be not hit my house at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to change this life, of course. And all smart persons, normal persons, will not change this.
Mm-hmm. Is it your impression that many people in Western countries actually support Russia?
I cannot say many, but when I discussed something in social medias, when I have
Mm-hmm.
discussions with these people,
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed by their arguments. But they talking about this, that Russia is really cool country. Even and when I asked them, you was in Russia?
Mm-hmm.
Say no. Oh, I say, oh, it's understandable because your because your face is actually clear. Yeah, like this. They didn't understand that when they come to the Russia, and if they just take, I don't know, sheet of paper on the some square, just doing like this, like with sheet of paper, there
Mm-hmm.
was taken by police.
Okay, so very repressive.
Because in Russia, you have only one opinion, and this opinion must be like opinion of the government,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
like this.
Part of this Russian propaganda for me seems to be that they keep saying how many men Ukraine has lost, that they are running out of soldiers, that they're taking old people, that they're forcing really young people to the front. But for example, you are not at the front, so doesn't seem to make sense. It seems to be a lie. Like, is everybody at the front? Are old people at the front? You are there, you can tell me.
Yeah, of course, no. It's also one of the take of the Russian propaganda because, um, for example, a lot of people is volunteers. Actually, most of them it's volunteers, or most of them it's professional soldiers
Mhm,
who's on the service. Of course, we have a mobilization, and it's normal that we have mobilization because we're at war at now.
mhm, mhm,
So I think they're talking about this because they want just to blame our government that look, even the old men, even the young men, but they will not say that in their at their army there is a lot of criminals, pedophiles, and actually it's really true because even in Russian media I many times saw this some titles that the member of Wagner was killed and like this. And when you start to read his biography, you just cannot understand why it's like this.
mhm,
Some murders, rapists, and that's a reality of Russian army
mhm, mhm, mhm,
like this. So we of course have how can I say we not have some human resources like Russia.
mhm,
We're trying to pick land because one of our part is on the front line. One of the power like at the trying to do something at this time. But for example, I cannot say that uh, that I'm also in the mine front line. It's mine front line that I'm do also something. No, I'm of course trying to do something, but it's I cannot say that I am and soldier we like at one point that we doing something. No, of
mhm,
course,
mhm,
soldiers doing a lot, and unfortunately they doing by blood, but
mhm, mhm,
their lives, but their health, and like this. Always we seen new names that was wounded, that was killed. That's really tragedy for Ukrainian nation, Ukrainian people, because the best sons of Ukraine, best sons and daughters of Ukraine is now trying to defend their
mhm,
country, defend their people.
mhm. And what has changed in daily life in Ukraine? How can you notice that there's a war going on? Like when you're not at the front, but what has changed?
Yeah. Um, at this time, thankfully for our soldiers, for our armored forces, and all who now standing with the armor, with the weapon, and defend uh, our world, our now our world. It's not so changed. I cannot say that, oh, it's so bad for me now. I cannot say like this because actually it's not so bad.
Mhm.
Um, of course, we have like we cannot, for example, have some parties or like go a walk at deep night. But I think it's just little cost for
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
Um, Now we have a winter. We will have a winter. It's more hard period for us because Russia will trying to take off our energetic infrastructure,
Mhm.
trying to shoot by the drones, by the rockets, and all what they have.
Mhm.
But thanks to our anti-air defense forces, also they trying to keep us in safe.
Mhm.
So
Quite
it's
successfully, I must say.
yeah, of course. Thank for them.
Mhm.
They're just like angels for us,
Mhm.
for the civilians.
Yeah. So basically, if you're not at the front, life seems to go on more or less.
Yeah, we have like air alarms. Like it's
Mhm.
usual for now. It's unfortunately now it's usual for us. But for example, that I'm living not in the big city, so it's not. I cannot say it's like a problem for us because we can hear the drones that they're
Mhm.
flying under our cities, but they're not take off us. Most their targets it's big cities and it's some energetic points,
Mhm.
energetic infrastructure points
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
like this. Of course, it's for us. It's mental hard to see like monuments for the soldiers because we understand it's for the it's not from the someone for two three we understand that for the whole people who take off their lives for our uh, that we live now normally.
Mhm.
Actually,
Mhm.
I cannot say that we live in bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Some people have criticized Ukraine and Zelensky for not holding elections at this time. Like, well, what is your opinion? Like, why are there no
that
elections?
we will not have elections. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
so actually, where are you seeing that we in the military country when we have war and our territory, where the country will have elections, even from the security aspect. Where so for example, in the Western Ukraine, there will be normal elections. What we will do in the Kherson region, Donetsk region, how there is will be how there is we can do some elections. We cannot do this because it's
Mm-hmm.
security, and in some ways, if we try to do this, it will be not fair. For example, many people saying why only this region have the
Mm-hmm.
opinion, why only this region have elections. We and we cannot. It's
Mm-hmm.
not normally. It's not normally now when we have active warfare. It's not now. Must be.
Mm-hmm. And do you think Russia would use these elections to kill people? Like they would know that many people would have to go and vote. Would they target them?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure in this.
Mm-hmm.
They did it 100 times. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And
And there was why for example I think many people trying to ask me why Russia doing this because they can say in the reports that they killed a lot of some officers of the armored forces of Ukraine. Mm, Not so long time ago at the village called Groza, as I remember, there was like funerals of the or fallen soldiers or killed civilians. I can't remember.
Yeah, they came together to mourn, and they were hit, and everybody in the village lost at least somebody.
Yeah, as I remember, 54 civilians was killed.
Yeah, every family lost somebody, I read.
Yeah, in Russian reports, they talking that there was officers of the main uh, the main recon service of Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
If Russian even do it accidentally, not for that what they want, they will not say, we are, yes, it's we did it. We will say it's a war crime and we'll do something with this. No,
Mm-hmm.
they just turn it to Ukrainian, or they just say it was militaries.
Mm-hmm.
It was military objects.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's really interesting strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about Bucha? I saw some American journalists with some reputation and some popularity claim that this never happened.
Yeah. Uh, I can, I don't have any words for this because I saw this some videos and interviews of this journalist, and they have a lot of arguments about that its bodies was actually not real. It's just imagination of bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and but actually some agencies, some journalists agency already already showed a lot of videos where Russians just killed the civilians. Like, for example, as I cannot remember what agency is this, but there was like videos from the video cameras in the
Mm-hmm.
cities,
Uh-huh.
and there was a saw how Russian soldiers killed the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really, it's really hard to speak about this, but I want to say all people who trying to say that the Bucha wasn't what we wasn't Bucha. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and you saw these bodies, you maybe touched these bodies,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and uh, I cannot I cannot understand what motivates it to say like this. What arguments like that? Ukrainian armored forces came and just take all these bodies, and just to show how Russians is monsters. But that's a problem because these bodies was like a long time ago,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and Ukrainians only take like one day, and on the next day come journalists.
Yeah. So the bodies were not decomposed.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
why some other journalists, not some, for example, what for example some like independent journalists,
Mm-hmm.
what was there, didn't say that, yeah, it was fake. What the journalist who was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another topic or another aspect, how are people in Ukraine reacting to what's happening in Israel and Gaza?
Mhm.
Is that a topic of conversation? Do people follow this?
Yeah, of course. When it starts, when it was bloody
Se-
events.
yeah, 7th of October.
Yeah, this bloody events. We all seen this at the news.
Mm-hmm.
The all whole moments when it was, and of course that actually remind us about the invasion, and officially Ukrainian government is supporting Israel actually. And for example, for me, I'm actually supporting Israel too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I want to say a lot of Ukrainians supporting Israel. A
And
lot,
why do you think this is so?
Ukraine supporting Israel
Mm-hmm. Like, what is the reason?
motivation.
behind, yeah, the motivation.
Yeah. At first, it's because we have like these situations. Actually, Israel always was a target for the neighbors, and now Ukrainian nation is understand that we also a target for our neighbor, and we actually, in some ways, we can say we always must be like prepared to war. Israel actually live like this whole the history of his state,
Mm-hmm.
and we understand like we have a little bit similar to this. Um, Also, it's because we all saw videos with these massacres or what did the terrorists to
Mm-hmm.
Israeli citizens, and we also like it's remind us about Bucha, about not only Bucha but all the tragedies what was at our country. So yeah, like this.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see the future? Like, how long will this war last? How do you see it end?
You know, I cannot say in 100%. I will not say that I'm expert, so you must listen to my opinion. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I will not say like this. It's no, it's trash. We cannot say that what will be in future. We cannot say what will be like after week and
Mm-hmm.
after next week, then month. Uh, I will just say that victory will be our.
Mm-hmm. So eventually Russia will have to give up.
Yeah, I cannot say how it will be give up,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to say that at one period we will take all our lands. What by the international law, all documents is our and natively is our. We will take back, and it will be always part of the Ukraine,
So
and
that includes Crimea and
it
the
includes
eastern
Crimea.
part.
It
Mm-hmm.
includes Crimea and whole eastern part, what was occupied since the 2014.
Mm-hmm.
It's all our territory.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I understand if it will be military way, our mm, our citizen, our people, our soldiers, and even now each matter, each point of the land take the by the a lot of blood of our soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
So I will not be like that. We must fight for the last Ukrainian. I want to say like this, but I cannot say it because I have respect to our soldiers. Because I know while I'm here, they there fighting at the frozen at the I cannot even imagine this
Mm-hmm.
how it will be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really scared be there, but I'm trying to be patriotic. I respect all the our soldiers. That's our heroes. It's defenders, and I want to say it's defenders of Europe, the whole Europe. Who will not to say like this? They just not to know. Not I cannot say that these people knows a lot about the politics and history. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like this.
And maybe a more personal question. Somebody asked me if I could ask you if you plan to stay in Ukraine or if you plan to move elsewhere.
Oh yeah, no problem. I will answer. Yeah, I will stay in Ukraine. It's
Mm-hmm.
my choice. It's real my choice. Uh, Actually, I even before the full-scale invasion, I didn't have some ambitions to go to the abroad and live there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I take degree. I take the second degree, and I want to stay in Ukraine. I
Mm-hmm.
want to really stay in Ukraine and develop this Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
That's my country, and uh, I will stay here. I'm sure that me and some people who thinks like me, we will build rebuild our state, and we will take care about this, about our country.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned at the start that there are so many cultural overlaps that you watch the same movies, the same series. Has that changed through the war? Do people feel differently about Russian and Russian culture now?
Yeah, it's really differently now. Of course, now in Ukrainian society is discussion that will we need to use like Russian, we need to use Ukrainian, and is it crime to watch the Russian films right now? Uh, but to my opinion, it's actually yeah. Oh, of course, it changed. It's actually changed because we start watch more Ukrainian content, talking more in Ukrainian, reading, writing in Ukrainian. It's of course really great when we stimulate our culture. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like of course some trash, like some propagandistic trash, it must be cancelled in Ukraine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For example, some films that some have like demoralization of Ukrainian people, Ukrainian nation, and Ukrainian language, or some other aspect of Ukrainian, it must be cancelled. And it's normal because it's actually it can be danger for our national security.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if somebody from the West would like to follow the latest developments and avoid propaganda, where can they go to? Like, what can they consume as media to be up to date?
We live in this period of time when we live in like an informational area. From anywhere we hear some news, some information from the messengers, from the social medias, YouTube, and like this. I want just to say the people who trying to research just this problem, just analyze it, just
Mm-hmm.
trying to analyze it without some ideology, but trying to be at first the human,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trying
Mm-hmm.
to have some human opinion and more empathy,
More empathy. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
about this, about what we have this one. But I want to give you advice not to listen to Russia. Real, it's you when you're trying to analyze that, you will understand that our world is actually ruled by the by the reptiloids.
Okay. Okay. I know it's past midnight where you are. It's late here as well. So I'm gonna let you go, but this was very interesting, and I really thank you for your time.
Yeah,
After a long work day, I know you work a lot as well. So really, thank you a lot for this
yeah,
explanation. It was really clear and very, very interesting. Thank you.
yeah, and thank you. So, bye bye, all your
Bye.
spectators, and bye, William.
Bye, Ruslan. Take care. Have a good night.